Welcome back. Again, this is Kurt Roskoff, and I'm here for your Revolutionize Your Marketing show. This show is made possible by Mill City Marketing MA, and it's orchestrated and created by our ever so famous John Petros Sr., that ambassador, of that famous website that he might talk about. Well, it's Alignable is the website. So if you don't know about Alignable, go ahead and check it out. That is a friendly community to this show, and we get our successes through there. We're going to be featuring an opportunity for everybody and a service and a bunch of products and all sorts of things available through an entity, an organization, and a team that I also participate in. So you are experiencing the World Ability Podcast Network. This is Revolutionize Your Marketing show, and the host and creator, John Petros Sr. John, take it away.
Thank you, Kurt. Another great introduction as always. Hello, folks, and welcome to this great edition. I have a guest tonight. He's got a special program. It's very enticing for any nonprofits. It was designed for nonprofits to help them raise money without having to spend time doing it. It's actually a pretty interesting program that he's got. So let's bring Dan on in. Dan Barrett.
Hey, John, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. And you?
I am doing well as well.
So let's let everybody know where you are and how you got to do what you're doing.
Sure, John. I'm out of the Chicago metro area, but I work for a company called Inspire.world. And what it is a way for us to take our skills that we have professionally accumulated over our careers, and it's a way of giving back to the community by helping them raise money. It could be, as you mentioned, for nonprofits. It also works for charities, military charities, schools, public and private, sports teams. Any entity that is looking to raise money, we can help them at no cost the entire time of the relationship, raise money and help them meet and exceed their budgetary needs.
Good. Okay, and how is the money raised?
Sure. We have 4 pillars that we raise money for them. We put up a site, a no-cost site. When I say no cost, John, at no point of the entire relationship do they ever send money into us. It's only us sending money out to them. The first thing is called the Savings Passport. It's where a supporter of an organization spends $50, and he or she, if they don't travel or they don't buy a car, are going to get 30 times their return on investment, or in other words, $1,500 in annualized savings. I'll explain in a second how those are achieved. Secondly, if a person travels 2 people twice a year and or they buy a car, that individual can get about 130 times their annualized purchase, which is $6,500. And the savings are derived in the following manner. There is any kind of sports arena or ticket you have the ability of getting. That's any professional sports, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, NASCAR, doesn't matter. You also can get discounts at colleges, any NCAA type piece, any concert, any play, movie, entertainment, anywhere in the United States, theme parks, so on and so forth. If you do the traveling, you get discounts on the airfare, the car rental, the hotels. You can also get planes, cruises, things of that nature. And purchasing cars, people get benefits from a BMW, which is $1,500 off MSRP, to a Subaru, which is just shy of $3,900 off MSRP. And then you have Chevy, GM, Hyundai, Ford, Kia, Honda, Toyota, Infiniti, Acura, Lexus, all type of brands like that. That's the first pillar. Second pillar is we take a logo of an organization, take a nonprofit. We take that logo and we put it on custom merchandise that the supporters of that organization can then wear. And we do a rev share 50-50 of the profits with the organization. We cover a lot of what's called cost of goods sold within that, and the organization is maximized with their dollars. The third pillar that we have is everyday products. Think of Amazon, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, places like that. When you buy a product there, you don't get anything from it. What if you were to buy that same product through this website, and proceeds or profits, 50% of, would go back to the organization, 50% would go to us, and again, we cover the cost of goods sold within that, maximizing the dollars going to the organization. That is a good way for an organization to make residual income all throughout the year. And the last area we have is group travel. And that's just a group of individuals going to a location, and the proceeds, again, getting split 50-50 between us and the organization.
Wow, covers a lot.
There's a lot there, but the complexity, John, our company helps the entity in marketing, in sending out the information, whether it's through social media posts or email lists. We have information that is pre-written, 80 to 85% of it already done for you. And we help you get the word out so that people come to the site. Then once an individual comes to the site, we continue to market for the benefactor of that site to those individuals all throughout the year to keep them coming and purchasing, so the entity can get more and more revenue, if you will.
Okay. So you guys do most of the work then, which is interesting.
Yes, sir. We still need some help from the individual, but we coach them through the process.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the merchandise side of it. I have a site that has some of the merchandise. Working on the rest, the other pillars.
Yeah, we're adding more and more throughout the year, and we continue to add more suppliers, more vendors for the everyday merchandise. The app should be going on your site very shortly, because we changed out app providers, because we went from 500,000 discounts throughout the United States to now we have 2 million plus discounts throughout the United States. So that's why we changed out the vendor, because there's more value for the end customer.
That's a lot of accessibility.
Yes, sir. And the benefit is, let's say you go into a small town and there's 12 vendors or retails, stores, things of that nature. And you, there's only 3 on the app, and you frequent 3 of those 9 that are remaining. We can give you a QR code to give to the proprietor, then he or she can scan it. Then they can be added to that app within a period of 3 to 4 weeks with whatever offer, whatever value they want to provide to their customers, so that you're not just limited to what's on the site today. You can help shape what's on the site within your area.
Okay. Interesting. And there's a lot of nonprofits that actually would be very interested and profitable by getting involved with this.
Yes, sir. We require 4 things from a nonprofit to start them. We require a high res of their logo so we can put it on the custom merchandise, a banner picture that we would put across the top of the site, the reason why they're raising the funds, what the proceeds would go for, and then them to just sign the basic terms and conditions sheet that we have, which is a 1-pager. Then once we have that, we stand up a site, John, within 24 to 48 hours. And then we usually reach out to that customer between 48 to 72 hours after the site is stood up for that secondary meeting to start the marketing, to start the socializing of the site.
I think that's the part that I'm up to. I haven't had that yet, but I've actually been mentioning it to a couple of people at an event that I had Tuesday night, and they're nonprofits and they're highly interested.
Okay.
So I'm already spreading the word for you.
We appreciate that, John.
That's what I do best. Yeah, I mentioned it to actually everybody who was at the event. I do an in-person networking with local businesses once a month. And I just keep spreading the word.
That's good.
One of the nonprofits is just starting off too, so it would be very beneficial for her. She's
And I
starting a
think
program.
our goal, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
She's starting a program to help single dads with children. There's a lot of programs, especially up in my area here, for mothers, for single moms with kids, but nothing for single dads.
Yeah, we have
And-
one other gentleman, I want to say he's out of New York, New York or Philly, who is doing the same thing, where it's a program for parents who have kids, but are dads and dads only.
Yeah. Yeah, and that she's just in the starting stages. She's looking for a place for them to temporarily have as housing. And I think I found a place for that.
That's good.
Um, anything to help out nonprofits,
Yes, sir.
it will make the country better. So what else can you tell us about that program? How long has
I
it
would
been?
say, oh, go ahead.
How long has it been going?
The company was founded in 15, incorporated in 16, and that's our CEO. And we've put that in place, and we've constantly added to the team. We've added more customers throughout the process. And I would say it this way, as far as what we're trying to do, one of many things that we're trying to do. If we can help organizations, whether they be the nonprofit, the charity, the school, all the types of customers that we help, if we can help them by adding more money, augmenting their budget, not necessarily replacing all their fundraising, but augmenting on top of what they have, we allow them to make, meet, and exceed their budgetary requirements. So therefore, they can increase the reach that they have and increase the community in which they serve. That is our goal as an organization.
And what's nice with having the different pillars, I think it'd be, take for instance, a school that probably already has a company that supplies apparel with their logo. Then there's always the other pillar with the discounts that they would benefit from. So even if
Agreed.
even if an organization already has the apparel, well, there's always the other pillars.
Or
like
within
the
the apparel, John, we could, if they had if, for example, if they had t-shirts or sweatshirts, we could remove those off our site and augment the site with items that they don't currently carry. Therefore, you appeal to the largest target addressable market. And by us having the pillars, that's the same purpose there. So we're not doing candy bars. We're not doing popcorn. We're not doing cookies or something like that, which only appeals. That's a one-time purchase. The intent here is to kind of build an annuity, even though it's not a true annuity. It has the aspect of raising funds all throughout the year for the benefit of the organization, where the money is going to come into that organization once a month, giving them the ability to, as stated previously, meet and exceed their budgetary requirements.
Mhm. Nice. And like Kurt said, he's involved with Inspire.world also, and
Yes, he is.
a bunch of nonprofits. I'm sure he's spread the word to them about it.
He has been
How do
a
you-
very strong advocate for the company. Absolutely.
How do you primarily get the word out about the site?
We do a lot of targeting customers or the target addressable market. For example, we could pick nonprofits, and within the nonprofit realm, target a particular area, nonprofits within that area, send out emails or post on various social platforms, things of that nature, We could do the same thing with schools, with sports teams. We go after the potential customer, and we also get a lot of referrals from customers who are already installed, John.
Referral marketing, that's a big way to get the word out. I had a couple of questions. I can't think of what they were to bring up. This happens a lot.
I could do a little filler here by saying we also have individuals that have large networks themselves, and we have a referral sales rep program where we utilize their social media contacts, their word of mouth, if you will, that they can spread. And these individuals are helping us bring clients in based on the networks in which they currently possess.
Yeah. I have 1,600 connections alone on Alignable, plus Facebook and Instagram. I've got a bunch of followers there.
So we could set you up the exact same way we've been doing with these other individuals, and I could reach out to you after this call that we're having and explain the program and tell you how it works and see if there is interest from your end, sir.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. We'll get this thing built bigger. So for a nonprofit, it's just having them send their logo, a banner, the reason why they want the money, and then returning the sheet with the terms and regulations, correct?
Yes, sir. That's it.
So it's relatively easy for any nonprofit to get involved. And the best part is it's no money out of their pocket, only money in their pocket.
No money out of their pocket ever, John. We don't, the cash flow is one way, us to them, never them to us.
Okay. I definitely have some other nonprofits in mind that I can mention it to too. Yeah. I actually like the program. Like I said, I'm involved with it myself. Looking to expand it, but we can talk about that later. See if Kurt has any questions. Well, see if he has any other details. Correct? You still hanging out there?
Yeah. So Dan, you want to share a little bit more about, you're being part of the team and being able to serve all the customers of Inspire.world, with what everybody is doing with Inspire.world for the months ahead and what has happened so far this year. You just want to put it in perspective for us, what you see being accomplished and the flair it has for you personally?
Yeah, I would say it this way. We have added to the team as far as depth and breadth of skill set within operations, within a CTO, within a media component. We've added some IT capabilities to strengthen our platform, what we're looking to do. We're also changing our corporate site and our micro sites and becoming a little more professional and polished in how we do it. And we're going to have the ability to add millions of everyday products here by, I would say, end of Q1 of next year. And the team has an incredible passion to a man and to a woman to take the skills that we've built throughout our careers. I mean, myself, I used to be one of the heads of cloud and automation software for Hewlett-Packard Software, and I ran everything but Western Europe from a sales side at one point. $1 billion P&L that I used to be responsible for on an annualized basis. I would say I spent a lot of time, not that the company is bad, the company is great, work with a lot of great people there, but I spent a lot of time chasing the dollar and spending a lot of time away from the family. And I think that is consistent between a lot of my peers here at Inspire.world. We have found a way to, for lack of better terms, to take the passion that we have, the career skills that we've developed, and we're now driving those for the benefit of our customers and allowing them to reach a success that they are capable of. And to me, that's personally a lot more rewarding than it is making my number every quarter at a corporation.
There you go. There you go. So there's the beginnings of attracting some spokespeople for Inspire.world, and I think of the weekend that we had with you last weekend. You want to describe a little bit in terms of, you know, some of the fun on that side of the public relations and promoting and, you know, getting
Sure.
some other characters involved. And I say that not thinking of Bob Holmes. So
correct. We have Bob Holmes, and we also have some other people, Santa Papa John, as well as Doug Plank, individuals who have notoriety and name recognition, if you will. And these people are acting as spokespeople for us. Bob has recorded some stuff. So has Doug. We potentially are going to ask the same of Santa Papa John. But we have individuals who are using their platform, their name, their expertise, and bringing it to bear to help us and spread the word. Bob has been to 6,000 schools, helped millions of kids. He talks about anti-bullying, teenage suicide, and the dangers of vaping. And he also does a one-man volleyball team where he's beaten 12 professional sports teams. We had Bob out to my neck of the woods. Kurt actually came down for it. And we had him play Grays Lake Police and Fire, as well as Gurney Police and Fire over at the College of Lake County here last weekend. And then I had Kurt and a few other individuals, well, Kurt and his wife, Sue, a few other individuals over to the house afterwards for some dinner.
yeah, that was really nice. You know, I got the king's treatment over there. So yeah, the family worked hard, and yeah, really, I mean, it was worth the trip just for Bob Holmes, and then we got the double decker, you know, over at the, you know, over with Dan and his family. So that was really nice. I appreciate that. Good memories already, and so we're off to the races. You know, a strong future ahead of us with Inspire.world. I'm pleased, proud, and privileged to be a part of it, and you know, we're being served here at the World Ability Podcast Network by Inspire.world. You can go to abilitynetwork.inspire.world to find that reference. But John, do you got like Mill City .inspire.world, or what do we type in?
Yeah, it's Mill City Marketing.
Mill City Marketing.inspire.world?
Yeah. You're going to bring it up.
There we go. So go ahead and grab up the apparel, the custom clothing, and everything with you know, Mill City Marketing on it. You know, support all the hard work John's doing over at Alignable and here at World of Ability, and you know, everything he's doing. He does a lot of work locally. We've been on the World Ability Podcast Network, and John's been out at location with what he does supporting community events, and you do an in-person event for Alignable, right, John?
Yeah, just had one Tuesday night. It was Halloween come early.
All right. So, you know, so with that, Dan, you know, when you look at your plans for, like you said, the end of Q1 and so forth, you know, with what your role is, what is the significance for you personally in this new, you know, legacy building, if we want to call that for you? You know, what is the importance of the next half a year for you? You know, kind of how does this fall into your own personal goals?
Sure. I would say it this way. We are looking to add multiple doubling of our customers over the next 6 months, if you will, and adding people to the platform within the nonprofit realm, the charity realm. And we're going to go very heavy after the schools, public and private, and the teams within it, because they are always looking to raise money. I run sales for the organization, and it would be our intent if we could, this time next year, helped over tens of thousands of organizations from all different facets of nonprofits, charities, as previously mentioned, schools, whatnot, help them with their fundraising goals, needs, and give them the ability to expand the reach in which the community that they serve and reach more people within the community. That's how we personally would measure success.
Very good. What do you think about that, John? This is Revolutionize Your Marketing, and you're on board with Inspire.world, John. What are you thinking about your excitement for, putting your own marketing through Inspire.world?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be great. I've already been thinking of places to introduce the site to around here, especially some schools that I've been involved with. So I know the people that raise money for the schools. Uh, One of them, even though my kid doesn't go to school anymore, I'm still involved with. Um, at one particular event every year. I wish it was two. I miss driving the golf cart around all afternoon. But the other one is a large festival in town. I work at the PTO food tent every year. That's one way that they raise money. This will be a lot easier for them. Uh, they're always looking for money to increase things in the schools. Um, so yeah, that's one of the things I can help with is get some schools going around here.
John, I would say it this way, where you do the local events, and I've done plenty of those in past life with my boys in private schools. You do the event and there's a lot of hype up to the event. And then once you have the hype all set, the event comes and goes and you're left with whatever money was raised throughout that event. The difference in our model runs 7x24 by 365. If you take it to a school or a church or even a nonprofit, it's a virtual fundraising engine that never shuts down on their behalf, is always collecting money. And if we redirect the purchases off the Amazons, the Targets, the Best Buys, the Walmarts to this site for the benefit of the organization we're raising money, as people are buying their consumables all throughout the year, they could buy them off this site, pay roughly the same amount of dollars that they would pay on those other sites. But now the organization is blessed with those funds. And that's when I said they have like the annuity type basis where every month they're collecting money or they're selling stuff, they're getting money, and therefore they're augmenting, they're backstopping their budgets. And if we do this right, we can grow it 8 to 12, 8 to 15% year over year and give them a way to consistently raise money and not be chasing the dollar, but figuring out what they're going to do with those extra dollars that we're able to help them raise.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to talk more about that after.
All right, so I want to call on my friend Steven that just chimed in from Peace Hub, connectforpeace.com. Just kind of touching base with Steven to see if he wants to come on and comment with us here while we're on live stream. We're being live streamed out onto YouTube, Steven, but did you want to share anything at all about what's going on with the weekend that you're heading up?
Yeah, this is ridiculously exciting, and it's going to be more exciting in a half hour when we have you to show us if we're doing StreamYard correctly. But there is a 48-hour broadcast that is going to begin in an hour, in 2 hours and 15 minutes from now. No, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. So it's 48 segments around the world with youth hosts starting way over in Micronesia, Samoa, Fiji. We get into New Zealand, Australia, all across Asia, America, the whole entire world over 48 hours with youth hosting each hour, discussing the beauty of their region, the challenges of their people, what peace means to them. And we have a huge campaign to allow the youth and anyone else to vote. In a lot of places, people can't vote. And whenever I tell the youth, oh, would you like to vote? They're like, I'm not old enough to vote. And I'm like, well, you're allowed to vote for peace. And your vote's going to be counted at the UN General Assembly. It's going to be presented with everyone else's, and their eyes get huge. Um, and then there's Make Peace Trend, a whole nother campaign with all these ex people and just crazy stuff. There's even a virtual world you can go into and look around and run around all over the place, and sustainable solutions. This is probably the biggest thing I've ever done, and I've done International Day of Peace broadcasting since 2009. So, um, oh, live concerts. Sunday is the actual International Day of Peace. Of course, our Sunday here is Monday in other parts of the world, which is why we're starting so soon. It's actually Saturday afternoon over in, down under and places like that. And there's so much to cover and so many activities. Times Square, London, France, Germany, incredible live concerts. Some of them have big names like Dave Stewart, Daryl Hall. If you're older, Daryl Hall's a good name. If you're my daughter, you've never heard of him. But just it's going to be quite the extravaganza. Will be live in refugee camps in Sudan with their directors. We will actually tonight in hour 4, which I'm hosting with my daughter, who's a youth. We're going to be having on one of the nominees for the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize. So there's just so very much. For those who want to find out more about it, the website is connectforpeace.com. That's not the number 4, it's FOR. So connectforpeace.com. It's a .com, but we are a nonprofit. We're a 501c3. We're a project under Pathways to Peace, which is the UN designated peace messenger. And it was a little over 40 years ago that they actually got Peace Day approved, with all the countries of the world agreeing that there should be an International Day of Peace. And then much later in 1981, Jeremy Gilley got it nailed down to a particular day, because it used to be the third Tuesday of September, and a floating thing like that is kind of difficult to keep track of and celebrate on Monday, Tuesday, or whatever day it is. So there's a lot of history to this, and we feel like right now the world really needs a little bit more peace. Oh, I better make sure I'm not on this calm. Uh-oh.
Look at that. He's down to the wire, folks. A little over
We
an
are
hour
down.
away, and it's show time, and he's going to have a crunch time review of StreamYard operations with me. So yeah, we're
Yes.
squeezing everything we got out of Steven. This is great.
Come on, I went to bed at 5 and got up at 7.
Oh, wow. Couple hours
Here.
of sleep. Well done.
Here's the thing. I also have to be a host. We have a incredible studio up in Vancouver, Canada. Incredible, like multi-million. You'll see some pictures of it on the website. But for my own house, for my daughter, we couldn't get up there. We've got the whole crew coming in shortly. To get the rest of the staging all set up, because I've got 3.5 hours before she and I are hosting this together for the areas of Micronesia, Melanesia, and Polynesia. So at least we get to go to the islands.
Yeah, that's
Virtually.
great. Yeah, virtually go to the islands. Yep.
Right. Yes.
So Steven, with everything you've been doing with Mike Raber and Mark Balin and myself, and everybody that's come from our side of things, have you ever heard of Inspire.world? Has that been something mentioned to you?
Oh yeah. And we got one. We got it put up. The man I was supposed to meet with someone, but his daughter got sick or something. And we do have a site up there. Inspire's great. We need to change the graphics, because that was when we started. And as you know from being involved, Kurt, things have significantly changed over the last 3 weeks into something far more professional, branded. And we have not had time to catch up on a merch.
Yep. So, all right. Well, yeah, somehow in the aftermath of this great weekend, we'll get that streamlined, and yeah, everything just keeps getting better. Life is good.
No, we're definitely going to get back to Inspire.world as a great fundraising tool for the nonprofit. Um, and that, as you know, this happened in a strange way, very, very quickly. And so normally we would have taken 6 months to put together something like this, and it had to happen in a month because what someone else was doing fell apart. And so we jumped in and said, well, we're not going to let Peace Day go. It's got to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, well, very exciting. I'm glad I can be a part of it. And we are World Ability
Oh, bless
Podcast
you.
Network are playing a role. And so with what you did with Inspire World, did you ever meet Dan? We've got Dan here from Inspire.
Yes,
Oh,
We talked on
yes,
the phone.
I did. I did meet Dan.
yeah, very good. See how it all comes together, John? How's that for marketing, huh? John, you're muted. You muted yourself. There you go.
There we go. I did that because of background noise.
Yeah, understood.
Happens when there's a daycare in the house.
Stephen,
Yes.
I'll reach out to you on Wednesday after you've had some rest after this weekend. I'll grab the new logos and then we'll change your merchandise out for you.
Okay, great, great. That'll be wonderful. I don't know.
Yes.
Your phone isn't down here, is it? No, I didn't take your phone.
Unless you said you're gonna use mine.
I am. But
So
well, I've got some stuff here. I've got it while you guys are doing this. I'm gonna just go on mute and whatever. And now there's all sorts of weird stuff popping up on the phone. To get things organized. But I will be back to make sure that we get our StreamYard started, because I had a real kind of easy questions like, is LinkedIn Live just going to go live? Do I have to go there? Do I have to press buttons at LinkedIn too? Or do I have to press buttons at YouTube? Or is StreamYard, since it's connected, just going to, press that button, whatever it is for me? Because I've never done anything like this before.
yeah, it's certainly automated that it'll show you a live. StreamYard will show you that I'm going to call it supposedly live on LinkedIn. You might want to have somebody verify that there's no technical glitch between StreamYard and LinkedIn. But yeah, it should all be automatic, and it should all be obvious that, at least as far as StreamYard's concerned, they gave the signal to LinkedIn. So
Yeah, I'm going to have them all open in little square things and just make sure that they're going. But
yeah.
in case they weren't, that's good to know that I shouldn't have to.
Yeah, it should
So-
have to, but it doesn't hurt to make sure, at least until you get used to it, that you have a quality control process to make sure that you didn't think you were alive the whole time and there was some glitch that none of us would have expected, and then there you sit. You just did a whole thing and nothing happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan from OX Agency will be here. I told him like a half hour before. So we're all counting all the people who are going to do restreaming. We're all so grateful for you, Kurt, and Spirit of the Game. We are so grateful. And I think with all these different streams going out and other people sharing it, then that's the big thing, is we ask the viewers, will you share this? Will you share this with your audience too, without having to be a streamer? Just hit the repost, just hit the whatever the buttons are. And if we get enough of a little bit of an audience going, then by Sunday, the actual International Day of Peace, we should have peace trending instead of who got assassinated or how many kids are dying in Gaza, or, like just yesterday we had a school shooting here again in Colorado. I mean, it was only one person instead of 20, but still, it's just, my God, our brains need something positive to wrap our heads around so that we can live a better quality of life. And maybe that's what peace is, just a better quality of life.
There you go. I'm
So-
for that, right, John? What a thing to market, eh? Quality of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. So, folks that are listening, you have Dan from the business. You got Stephen, who's been with the company as a customer, shall we say, for a while. Both reviews of Inspire.world. I won't see a market, but give both sides.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my video and audio here and go take care of some business, but I'll be back to see you, Kurt. Sorry I came in early and crashed your guys' party, but maybe it works out good. Everybody, yeah, you want to get inspired here and inspire the world. Okay.
There it is. Thanks, Steven. So we'll talk to you
Thanks,
shortly.
Steven.
All right, John, what do you want to do to take the next few minutes to wrap this up?
Well, I want to thank Dan for coming in. We'll have Dan back on again with an associate at a future date. We'll talk about that, Dan. We'll bring you back on again.
Okay. Look forward to
You
it.
and as far as next week, folks, stay tuned because you never know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen yet. Still working on that. But yeah, I've got a couple of interesting people coming up in future dates. Some real powerful people coming up from the platform of Alignable. Again, I have to mention it, Kurt. If you're a nonprofit business, small business, new startup, if you're not on Alignable, you need to be. Alignable has somewhere around 9 million or so businesses across the US and Canada. So if you want to connect with other businesses that can help you out, come on to Alignable. Great place to network and meet other businesses. I've been on Alignable for a little over 2 years. I've got over 1,600 connections. That's how simple it is. If I have a business that needs something else besides marketing, I guarantee I've got plenty of people to connect them to. I can help them out. Got to build up these businesses. So, Dan, again, thank you for coming. Kurt, as always, it's a pleasure having you on my back.
My
You're in
pleasure.
that, Kurt, but I call you my co-host.
Thank you.
So next week, folks, stay tuned. As they say in the Batman series, same Batcave, same time.